I've been told at various points in my life that I'm too much. Too loud, too honest, too liberal, too emotional, too opinionated, too outspoken, too long-winded, too real. And for a long time, I truly believed that that meant something was wrong with me. It led me to grow up in believing that I had to shrink myself to fit into the boxes designed for others' comfort in order to be loved in this world. I thought that I had to dilute myself to earn respect, to belong. I grew up swallowing my voice, holding my breath in rooms that never felt safe because of the words people didn't have the courage to say. Anxiety has followed me through life. It's worn various masks and it's gone by various names. Shame was whispering that the world would love me more if I took up less space, less time, less words. I didn't know who I was. I only knew who I was expected to be until I got tired of it. Until I saw someone else stand up, speak out, come out, and stand in their truth. I still remember the first time that happened. I was 11 years old, and that was the first time I met and saw a two-mom family, white picket fence, the whole nine. I saw them wear their truth like a badge, not a burden, and for the first time the world suddenly made sense to me. For the first time I could see myself in the world, instead of painfully shaping myself to fit in the world. The next time that I recognized this was at the age of 22, after a whole new cycle of anxiety and shame led me to the rooms of AA, recover from an unhealthy and toxic coping mechanism for my pain, addiction to alcohol and opiates, and I saw someone stand up and say, "Hi, I'm Tim, and I'm an addict. I have 6 years in recovery. Today I'm a lawyer, and I help others who have made poor choices in their own struggles with addiction." When he stood up and he claimed those words, "I'm an addict," the room exhaled like it had been holding its breath for years. He wasn't ashamed of his past. He wore it like it was armor he had forged in the fire. And it was. That moment taught me something sacred. Our pain and our shame and our struggles are not meant to be buried. They're meant to be witnessed. When I left teaching, job I loved, an identity I clung to and shaped myself around, people asked, well, what else are you going to do with a Spanish education degree? How are you going to feed your family? I was terrified. I told everyone I was terrified, but I did it, and I did it openly. And one by one, people started reaching out. I want to leave teaching. How did you do it? I'm miserable. I've always been too afraid. I didn't know how. And that's when I realized my loudness is not a liability. My realness is someone else's permission slip. Because when I'm so open, either in speaking or posting about what I've gone through, I'm not posting for the people who think it's too much. I share my truth loudly and proudly because someone out there is still living in silence, shame, and pain. Because it's my accountability that might be someone else's awakening. Awakening to the fact that there's people just like them out there, trying to do the best they can do and who make mistakes, sometimes big ones. People who are good humans, want to show it to young people in their formative years who are watching all of us closely. That's why I became a teacher. Now I see we all need to be reminded. It's not mistakes that we make define us, but what we choose to do with the lesson or don't. Today, I wear my heart on my sleeves, and I don't really care what anybody's gonna think because I'm being me. I talk about my struggles because I know what shame does. I know that trauma is passed down through whispers and judgment, but healing echoes, and it echoes the truth that might be someone else's first breath of fresh air after drowning for years in shame. Trauma breeds trauma, but recovery passes on something so much bigger than hurt. Healing, it passes on hope, humanity. True change and solutions don't come from what we say or what we post or tweet. True change comes from the actions we take in the world in the moments in between those posts. If I'm too much, maybe it's because I stopped letting systems, silence, or small men define me. I've been able to realize I'm not too much. I'm just exactly what they told us could never be. Women, queer folks, addicts, someone covered in tattoos, just a teacher, people with mental health struggles. The same way I grew up believing. Why do you think they want to shut TikTok down? Platform that allows people to be anything they want to be. Stop dividing us. I used to be scared of being too much. Now, I fear not being enough. Too little, too late to do anything to stop this country from being eaten alive by hate, shame, misinformation, and fear. And ego. My God, the ego. A country, by being born overseas, I've lived my entire life in. A country I love, full of the people I love. A country that's felt a lot less lately. A lot less safe for me, for a lot of people. A lot less to be proud of. A lot less resources. We can't even keep a store open 24 hours. In the year of our Lord, 2025, is nobody else concerned? I digress. In a country being torn apart by both sides blaming the other for things their ego can't recognize their own side does, and that we all want the same thing in the end. The right to life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. Maybe I'm not enough to save this whole damn country, but I will never stop being a beacon of my own truth because someone out there is still in the dark looking for light. My story, my struggles, how I overcame them, my words, which sometimes I could use more carefully or maybe use less of. If they can spark spark the tiniest bit of hope in someone to take that breath, a collective sigh of relief for the first time in a long time, or shows them someone out in the world like them in a role they've always been told they'd never be cast, spark the tiniest of hope, someone who hasn't seen the light in so long, they finally start looking for the path again. I can give them that, even if they choose to go back into the darkness. I can live with that being enough. It's enough for now. The world's changing, the way we do things needs to change. I don't have all the answers. I'm just some former school teacher that can tell you one thing. What we're doing, what we've been doing, it ain't working. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Until we stop accepting being told that asking for and demanding these basic freedoms, these basic human rights guaranteed by our Constitution, make a livable wage, feed our families, take care of ourselves, especially our mental health, so that we don't have to fear the people who can't regulate themselves emotionally and are shooting up our kids' schools. Something's gotta give. Accepting nothing, excuses, pointing the blame, is no longer an option. Every one of our problems is not an American problem. It's a systemic problem. Problem for which there are solutions, and we have to fix them from within. All of us. Their countries, really nice countries, not shithole, third world countries, and the people there seem happy. Beautiful countries, most luxurious countries. Liechtenstein, I think that's how they say it. You know who wasn't in Liechtenstein? Sleepy Joe. We have to fear going to church, sending our kids to school, and get shot up by somebody who can't regulate their emotions, for whom all the warning signs were there but nothing was done. As soon as we start realizing that that's not asking too much, expecting liberty and justice for all, we won't be able to accept anything less. How many times does history have to show us one man with a big platform and a tiny ego claiming to have all the answers has disastrous results before we believe it? I'm hoping we wake up soon, but I've been hoping for a long time. And newsflash, no one is coming to save us. It's up to us, all of us. My hope is that we're not gonna have to go much further down this path, no return, before the country wakes up. If there's ever been a time to be too much, now is the time. Avengers, activate. But yeah, I've been told I'm too much. Too much honesty, too much bleeding heart, too much hope. And if that makes me too much, good. And I don't plan to be anything less. Fuck Donald Trump.